Hello everyone, Neil Tappin here from Golf Monthly and welcome to West Hill Golf Club and this video looking at the 5 biggest golf swing mistakes and how to fix them. I'm joined in this video by Alex Elliott. He's a PGA pro and he's got some really simple and effective advice for what we think are the most common mistakes that might be costing you hitting slices or hooks or just hitting shots slightly fat or slightly thin. Whatever your issue, hopefully there should be something in this video to really help you out. Right, so the first one on our list of biggest golf swing mistakes is the grip. And it's something you're going to need to pay attention to. Alex, what do people need to look out for here? What are the biggest faults in terms of the grip?
I think if we start off firstly with the palm, we all sort of hear this one banded around quite a lot. So if you're a golfer, if you're right-handed, you struggle losing that ball off to the right and really don't feel you get a big bang for your buck, then we're going to tend to see this golf club run through the lifeline. Yes. Where we're actually told to put the putter, actually. Okay, right, for most people. So essentially, when we've got the club in the palm, we're going to see it very similar to as I've got here. And if you just waggle that golf club up and down, it's going to feel quite heavy. And what happens in this scenario is that when you return the club to impact, the way in which your body works, you're going to more than likely return it slightly open, aren't you? Slightly open, or tend to, with driver, potentially add a lot of loft. Right. So like our ability to create a good efficient hit is dramatically reduced. Yes, so if you have a fault in your grip that isn't a weak grip, but a strong grip, what does that look like? So a strong grip would be, let's say, 2 to 3 knuckles, maybe even 4 knuckles showing, really our logo of the glove pointing to the sky and sort of this look to how we're set up to the ball. Yeah. We're gonna see that real hook curvature. So finishing off to the left for a right-handed player, finishing off to right for a left-handed player. And that, for me, is where we're going to really struggle to control the golf ball, especially in firm conditions like it is now. Yeah. Like, having that strong grip, we're only going to see sort of lowish ball flights, a lot of hook spin on it. Exactly. So what does the absolutely technically good grip look like and how can people set it? The one thing I'd say with this, Neil, is I think we've got to be sort of, I always think of people improving their grip by edging it back slowly. Okay. Because your grip matches how you release the club. So we need to make sure it's not going from one extreme to the other. Okay. The only sort of caveat to that is if you do have it in the palm, get it in the fingers straight away. But if you are weak, edge it stronger. If you are really strong, edge it a little bit weaker. Okay. But that common ground where I want you to end up in the end would be a nice simple routine for this as well. If you're out on the golf course, is grip it sort of in the middle of my shaft as I've done here, tilt it slightly away, place it in the fingers, and you can see there I've got it right at the base of my fingers. Meaty part on top. Quick test, club feels light, club down to the ground, we can see sort of 2.5 knuckles. Yep. Fingers on in my right hand, and both of these creases should be somewhere around my right shoulder. Quick question for you, Alex. If you get the left hand grip right, will the right hand grip then automatically be correct? I think so, yeah. You've got a better chance. Right, fine. So focus, are we saying focus on the left hand grip? I think your left hand grip, right-handers, yeah, the opposite way. Vice versa. Right. Yeah, simply whatever one you have your glove on, get that right, we'll tend to have a better chance of hitting some good shots. Okay, good. And if you get it right, then you should hit some nice, neutral, flighted golf shots, a bit like this one. No pressure. So yeah, nice simple routine, in the fingers, meaty part on top. It's going to give you a much better chance of returning that golf club back to relatively good to our path. A bit like that. Very good. Okay, so next up, alignment. And it sounds easy enough, doesn't it, to get your alignment right, but it's something that can go wrong quite easily and something that even the best players in the world are constantly checking, making sure they get it right. So, Alex, how do you get it right? Firstly, don't aim your shoulders at target. Right. Which might sound like, to you watching this right now, a comment where you go, well, of course you do. If you're gonna throw something or fire something, you'd be sort of looking at our alignment, and a lot of you will be standing there going, right, I'm aligning to target, stand up check, ooh, I look a little bit left here, start to adjust ourselves so it looks like our eyes are perfect. Well, in reality, it's going to be aiming to the right. It's the club face that you need to worry about, not your body alignment. So definitely. What's a good way of checking it? In practice, out on the golf course? I would, like we've got set up here, so I would do these simple things when you're hitting balls in the range, and if you play on your own in an evening, just throw them down on the ground. But then we'll also talk through a scenario you can use in a competition. So everything, Neil's got to start from a ball to target line. Yes. So I would stand behind at the start of a range session and simply pick out my ball to target line, place the alignment stick down there. Then I can walk it in and it's making sure that our feet, knees, hips and shoulders all run parallel to this, and when you do stand up, your shoulder line will be working parallel left to target.
Yeah. So it's like you're on almost like you're on a set of train tracks.
Exactly that.
And then you're out on the golf course playing a competition. You know you have a tendency to aim a bit right. How do you make sure that you don't do that?
Simple trick. We all got logos on our golf balls, or some of us even put lines on our golf balls from a putting. Use this line to your advantage on par 3 tees and when you're hitting some drives away.
Okay.
Stand behind the golf ball again as if you've got an extension of what we did during practice. Place that down, parallel lines, and we can simply, again, build our stance from this, as opposed to building it from this way to the ball, build it from the ball upwards. It's called a ball to target line for a reason.
Yeah, and I think the important point to make here is that if you are devoting some time to your alignment, it won't be wasted. There's a whole host of other good things that will happen once you've got your alignment spot on. Right, next up, the slice. Alex, most of us know how it feels. Most of us, it's very demoralising when it happens. What have you got here? I can see you've got a drill for us.
Yeah, I mean, it might look quite strange you're putting this out on the range, but honestly, I've used this analogy with people who come for lessons, and this is really nice and simple. If I gave you a tennis racket, but we don't have that right here because it's not something that you can attach quite easily to a golf shot, so let's use our right palm.
Okay.
Okay, so if we're a slicer and our golf ball was sort of at this height, we'd work like this.
Yeah.
And we'd go, well, of course the ball would work this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we did the opposite to that, in golf posture, but then we just stand upright to hit this ball away like tennis, I wanted to hit the ball away as far as I could, we'd make sort of this motion. So that would be my club traveling a little bit more into out, my club face being a little bit more closer to square, if not close to my path. And this would be quite an easy motion for a lot of us to make with the ball at that height.
Yes. So, question then, so it feels like a fairly simple resolution. So how does it look with the golf club in your hands, Alex? And what should people be wary of, the kind of body movements that they're making that are causing them to cut across it, like saying?
I think that the biggest reference point I would have for a lot of golfers is when we start the downswing, and it comes to, especially with driver, we want to hit it far, we want to get that distance. It's right shoulder, right hip working out,
Right.
which works this way.
Yes.
In
Bit
tennis,
eager to hit it quite a long way, and suddenly you come over the top.
exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas in tennis, the ball would come, we'd move in and through, and
Yeah.
we'd make that sort of reaction to a good body movement because we're orientating it to a moving object. Now, obviously in golf, the little white ball sat still, so we've got to think of an analogy, and a nice simple way would be actually address the golf ball down here, swing up, feel how you meet the golf ball away. Okay, now you might think, well, Alex, you're standing up, but what we're trying to do is get the club to work this motion.
Right, yes, and not the other way around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we could have 2 or 3 practice swings on the course, on the range, walk into the shot, we've now got the feeling of being able to work the club through this space as if we're hitting a tennis shot away, but just more tilted over the golf ball.
Okay, go on then, hit one for us, let's see how it looks.
So I'd really make a few waggles, tennis shot away, imagine them hitting that ball down to target.
Arrow straight. If you have a slice, it can be one of those things that takes a little bit of time to get it out of your game, but work on it, as Alex is saying here, it could really help. This one is all about starting the golf swing correctly, but let's start with the fault. Alex,
Yep.
what do people do that cost them in the golf swing here?
I think we just put it into 2 categories. One, not control the club face and not get the arms and body working together. So simply it would be closing it too much or open too much.
Right, okay, and it looks, that second one looks as if you're taking it away on the inside. Are you taking it away on the inside
Yeah,
there?
very much so. And I think sort of that open face, especially with longer clubs, everybody thinks it's a little bit more rounded. It's very tempting to sort of work it in this direction.
Yeah, and it's something you see a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what can people do to resolve the problem?
So a nice simple routine, as I've done here, is I've simply just placed my golf club down directly behind my ball. So if we sort of give those 2 scenarios, if I go too much on the inside, well, look how the club really works. If I wanted to push that golf club back as far as I could, I would really want to get arms and the body working together and more of what would feel like the sort of, I guess the term a lot of people would use, one-piece takeaway.
Yeah, you hear it a lot.
So down behind the ball, I mean, look at the difference of this here.
Yeah.
A lot more control. Golf club's gone a lot further back.
Yeah, and if you were to draw a triangle between the club head and your shoulders, that triangle would pretty much be kept intact for a lot of that, wouldn't it?
Exactly, rather than changing your angles.
Yeah.
Changing them means a lot more compensations have got to take place.
Yeah, so if you can start the golf swing correctly, the chances are the rest of the swing will follow and you'll hit better shots. So the last one on our list is standing up in the downswing. Alex, what do you mean by standing up in the downswing?
I think a lot of people will see another term that they'd use is early extension. So essentially, belt buckle getting higher, us standing up, and then we see that scoopy sort of look to our impact position.
Right, okay, yeah, it's something you do see quite a lot. So how do you solve the issue?
I think you see, even with very good players as well, it's not just sort of your beginners, your higher handicappers, it's something that happens with a lot. So a simple thing we can do, I mean, I've just placed my bag here. This could be alignment sticks. If you're watching this at home, this could actually be the wall behind you. If you've got a few spare minutes each day, I think the important thing with this, Neil, is we make it flow.
Right, okay.
So golf club across our chest, we don't want to just be position, 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 because we know in reality the golf swing's got a bit of flow to it. So what I want you to do here is have the bum just out of touch of whether it's the wall, alignment stick, or your golf bag as I've got here. Go through swing, try and touch it with your left pocket, back, right pocket, through left pocket. And you can really see here how I'm a lot more over the golf ball throughout the whole motion.
Yes. Yeah, and you're avoiding that issue of standing up, aren't you? You're retaining that posture, that really good posture that you said at address. I can see that you're still in it as you reach that kind of impact position.
Exactly, and just to sort of preempt a few questions that people might ask to us to stay more over the golf ball at impact, well, our belt buckle has to work more to target to give us the ability to be here. If our belt buckle's a little bit higher, we're going to find it very, very hard to hit the golf ball in that direction but remain over it. Yeah,
it's a really simple way of thinking about it. Hopefully it's a sort of a non-technical fix for a technical issue that should help you out. So there you have it, some really great advice there from Alex, really simple, really effective. If you do have any questions, please do post them below. We'll hope to get back to as many of you as possible. But that's it for now from West Hill. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.